to this episode of Sunny's Silver Linings. Sunny's guest is Dan Wensley, CEO of ScalePad, the company formerly known as Warranty Master. No stranger to the MSP ecosystem, Dan has more than 25 years' experience in the MSP community and has led multiple IT channel companies. And now, your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kaila. Over to you, Sunny.
Thank you, Todd. And Dan, welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I'm really excited about having a conversation with you. And can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, thank you first and foremost, Sunny, for having me. I look forward to the conversation. I know in some of the emails we shared, I think we've got some exciting topics to discover and talk about with your audience today. And I will first apologize. You've certainly outclassed me already, Sunny, with your suit jacket and good shirt. We just went through a massive rebranding here, Warranty Master to ScalePad. So as you can see, I need as much reminder as I can give myself not to say the word Warranty Master when we're trying to rebrand to ScalePad. But I'm excited to talk to you about some of those topics as well today.
And I know you're doing great work for the channel and helping our MSP partners with building something that is helping them with the QBRs and everything else in terms of value addition to their end customers. So let's talk about that a little bit. So tell us a little bit more about how ScalePad is helping MSP partners.
Yeah, thank you, Sunny. It's been an exciting period. I joined Warranty Master about a year and a half ago, and the organization and the application was doing phenomenal work on some of the tangible foundational items around the managed services shift that we've been going through over the last couple of decades here, Sunny. And some of those commonalities, automation, profitability, value to customer, strengthening the relationship with the customer, we're all foundational inside the application here at Warranty Master. And we've really looked to extend that. And we've seen that certainly of what we've all gone through in 2020 and through 2019. Although there's been a shift, the fundamentals in many ways are even more important than they were yesterday. It's easy to hide a lot of things in a good economy, when everything's going extremely well. But when times get a little tougher, whether it was 2008 or certainly what we've gone through here a little bit in 2020, these are the times that you look for opportunities to really strengthen your business, strengthen the relationship you have with your customers, and maybe uncover some of the inefficiencies around revenue and profitability that you may not have had to put a light on in previous times. So what I'm most proud about, Sunny, with our 8,000 partners across 76 countries globally, is we're really helping in those three primary areas. We are helping them automate and be more productive internally. We are helping them extend value and strengthen their value with their customers. And last but not least, drive profitability, both in top line revenue and operational profits as well.
Dan, which is so important, especially in the world that we're living in. Every penny counts. And I know every single MSP out there is thinking of ways to keep their revenue up, especially with this, what's happening around us, having that strong cash flow, strong top line, strong EBITDA is so important. And I have one question, though. You did talk about rebranding to ScalePad. I'm curious to know why behind this rebranding.
It's a great question, and it's one a lot of our partners have asked about. It's really, it wasn't an exercise, Sunny, in just doing something new or doing a marketing spin on it. It really came from the migration and the maturity of the original application that was first launched in 2015. When the application was first launched to the marketplace as Warranty Master, it was really a warranty lookup tool. It provided phenomenal value, again, automating and strengthening relationship with customer and profitability, because it was identifying hardware devices that were out of warranty, and it added great value to the partners and to their customers. But since that time, we've continued to massively evolve into a very mature asset lifecycle management application being used again by 8,000 partners around the globe. We've added better reporting. We've added true automation and asset lifecycle productivity from rotation policies, budget planning, sales forecasting, and so on. And so since that time, we've really matured. And the tipping point for us, Sonny, was our roadmap to add software asset management into the application. So really all of the things that we had done for hardware with partners, we're now able to do with software. And when you're launching a massive solution such as software asset management inside your application, the word warranty master, the brand warranty master, no longer accurately reflected what we were doing. So we felt it was time for a change. I will say, however, that it also came at a time when our warranty business with our partners is up 75%. So it was a bit of a double-edged sword as that business continues to skyrocket for partners. But we just felt it was now time, as we were, expanding the application, expanding the value, and too many partners talking about it as a lot more than being the master of warranties. It was time for a brand change. So we were excited to do it, and lots of new hoodies for everybody.
And sometimes, entrepreneurs will ask, hey, I started with this core product and now my capabilities have expanded. And what do I do? My name is not giving a clear picture. And this is, so thank you for sharing that for entrepreneurial journey and our organization's journey. And sometimes we have to reflect on where we are, where we started, and sometimes that rebranding is required.
So, Sonny, let me throw a question out here. What are some of the low-hanging fruit that MSPs can use a platform such as ScalePad to do in order to ramp up profitability? Here we are approaching end of the year, and people are always looking to put some extra numbers on the books. What's a great use for a platform such as ScalePad?
Yeah, thanks, Todd. It's a great question. And again, the versatility of the application is critical here because in 2019 into early 2020, the revenue we were driving for partners was primarily driven by hardware rotation, being more proactive, being able to budget and forecast and sell. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, Todd, warranty sales are up 75%. Well, why is that? Arguably, it's because hardware budgets have been slashed and cut as everybody was looking, as you said earlier, Sonny, to fine tune their business and to make sure that profit was going to be there. So hardware budgets were slashed, but that left exposed aging equipment out of warranty, which is not only a missed opportunity for MSPs around the globe, but it's really putting their customers at risk if they're not under a service contract. So there was a bit of a light shone on both the servers, the networking gear. And then we reacted, and I'm very proud of our team for doing this, Todd, early on, is we identified that workstations are by percentage the largest volume of hardware assets that our partners are managing. And we added extended warranties onto workstations back in the early summertime of 2020. And again, that exploded the market opportunity for our partners to be able to apply extended warranties down to the workstation as well. We went from about a $50 or $60 million market opportunity with just servers and networking equipment up to in north of $500 million in market opportunity for our partners, just based on the sheer volume of workstations in the marketplace.
And how does that, I see that in addition just being profitability, but Sonny, let me kind of put it back to you. Obviously as a MSP owner, you want to increase profitability, but the fact, that peace of mind that it's giving your partners, that the equipment is covered, especially, with everyone, working from home and such, how has that impacted IT by Design's legacy MSP business?
Yeah, so thank you, Todd. So a couple of things. When we adopted this solution, as you know, Dan, we are MSP here in New York City, and our DNA is MSP since 2003. And I know we always struggled with keeping track of assets and staying proactive in terms of staying up to date. And the problem that we used to run into is you have now this machine where it expired, and sometimes the monthly maintenance or proactive maintenance team didn't have the tool to uncover that early on. And when that machine goes down and you are looking for a firmware update or something, and the manufacturer or vendor is like, this is not available anymore. It's no more support provided for this piece of hardware. And when we looked at solutions, and we use a ScalePad solution when we started Warranty Master, that helped us so much to track our assets, be proactive, and it was such a great tool for our proactive team, where their job is monthly maintenances, making sure that they stay on top of everything that we manage under managed services, so that reactive support hours can go down, which adds to the bottom line. And it also helps us forecast, having some prediction in terms of having that revenue plan prediction in terms of budget, that what percentage of your revenue can come from these agreements. And that so it helps revenue, it helps you reduce your reactive support cost, because your proactive team now is empowered with the right tool to make a difference for your customer.
Sonny, I couldn't agree more, and that's a theme that you know it as well or better than anybody else. Managed services was all about proactive service delivery versus reactive, and what was occurring and still occurring in some cases when it comes to hardware and maintenance and so on is it's a very reactive model still. And that's exactly what ScalePad came in and solved for MSPs is first and foremost, automate the data collection, because it was time consuming, cumbersome, not always accurate to get the data sources. And through our 30 integrations with all the major platforms in the managed services stack, we're able to collect that data very efficiently. But then what can you do with that data? What is the value? And I think you hit on it very, very accurately. It is the ability to proactively take action and to demonstrate to your customer ahead of, wow, it's time to replace all of these devices. Well, we didn't know, it wasn't in our plan, it wasn't in our budget. That's not a good scenario for an MSP. You want to be proactive in helping them plan 2021, 2022, and what's it going to look like? Because not only is that a win for your customer, it's a win for your business. From as you mentioned, what's our revenue going to be? What's our profitability going to be in those areas? So I really look at it, and I come from the RMM background 15 plus years ago. And we've really, I think with ScalePad brought asset lifecycle management up to the caliber and up to the expectation of the managed services promise and that we all embarked on many years ago.
So I just want to add to Dan's point, my happiest people were my CFO and my service manager. Because when service manager is given the responsibility to manage your P&L, above the line items management is so critical. In a managed services world, your annuity revenue or your monthly recurring revenue should pay for at least above the line items that break even point that they talk about. So from the monthly recurring agreements, you should be able to cover all the expenses for your business. And then the other two line items that are so important for a service manager to be successful, projects revenue and products revenue. So break fix, some people call it break fix or projects, where it's not guaranteed income, it's not guaranteed revenue, it's a variable revenue. And you normally budget for the year, and then you divide it into 12 months, and you have to stay on track with the revenue plan for the variable revenue. And this solution helped my service manager to better manage that P&L, to better predict success of his P&L, service P&L, because now the monthly recurring agreements are booked in the beginning of the year. You know where you're going to end up in that year from total revenue from your managed services agreements. Now, what's left during that month, which you can predict and be proactive with your leading indicators in terms of the revenue from products and revenue from your projects, you can stay on top of that week over week by having a right solution like ScalePad, because you know what's coming up in the next week, next month, next quarter. So you can be proactive, and it helps you with the monthly closing, during the monthly or during the billing process. Every service manager will have to scan and go through the true-up process. And that true-up process is because the endpoints that you manage, it goes up and down depending on your end customer, adding some users or removing some users, and it helps you with streamlining your true-up process as well. So my service manager was very happy, and my CFO was very happy that now they are empowered with their tool to do their job effectively.
Well, yeah, and I thank you for the comment. I couldn't have said it any better than that. I think, Sonny, it's and what I found incredibly powerful from partners over the last year and a half has really been around those core areas. You know, it's easy to look at the application and what's the feature and what's it doing, but it's really when we're getting into the profitability, the EBITDA impact it's having for partners, and that's why we're seeing this incredible increase in the warranty sales, because they were left aside, and when hardware dissipated a little bit, that opportunity was always there, but we've got to focus on it now. So I think that's one of the greatest compliments I think we receive, is to hear my service manager loves it, and most importantly, the CFO of the business loves this application because of what we're doing for partners on the financial side.
So, Dan, as you and I both been here in the channel, and Sonny's been an MSP a long time. One of the toughest conversations sometimes is at that renewal point, and, making sure that your partner is seeing the value, because the idea is to be proactive so you don't have to roll the trucks, you don't have to get in front of them just so often. But what's the best way MSPs can communicate their value to their partners?
Yeah, that great question, Todd. And we all know it. I mean, that question's been around since the dawn of managed services. If I go from a reactive on-site visit every time there's a problem to a proactive automated solution, how is my customer going to perceive the value that I'm delivering? And they don't, how many tickets you fixed during that quarter. They don't see it. It just works. One of my favorite questions back, a decade plus ago was how many IT service providers carried the keys to their customers' offices and knew the alarm code? And inevitably 100% of the hands would go up, because the customer knew that if something broke, you were going to be there. So it was always a question of how do we present value? I think one of the areas where our business really matured and based on the partners' feedback was our reporting capability. The ability to report competency as an MSP is critically important. Our reporting around hardware, and Sonny, you touched on it, let's show them proactive budget planning for 2021 and beyond, so that it increases your incremental value right away. It strengthens your relationship with customers. And we're seeing incredible value coming out of the software side of this application now, what we've launched here recently. And to put it in perspective, our partners today manage about 10 million assets, hardware. When we added software asset management, that number ballooned from 10 million to nearly 100 million assets. So the complexity around hardware for data collection, data mining, and presentation to customer, that complexity is arguably tenfold when it comes to software. So the value of now presenting side-by-side views, here's your hardware, here's your software, here are the assets you're using, that immediately increases your perceived competency, and in fact, your realistic competency as an MSP, because you can showcase to your customer, look what we're watching, look what we're monitoring. We know what's going on inside your network, we're aware of it, and we're proactively planning for it. So I think, Todd, that issue or concern is always going to be with us, and we always need to find ways to improve that. And I'm real happy with the reporting and the capabilities that we're helping some MSPs deliver on some of that.
And Sonny, how does IT by Design use reporting to, communicate value to the customer base, partner base?
for service manager, QBR is the best thing that they can do. So when they do the QBR, they take these nice reports and they include in their QBR presentation to share their value, right? So a lot of time in the managed services business, when you are doing a great job as MSP, and customers are like, I'm cutting this check and this company is probably not doing much, but you will end up paying the cost of being a really best-in-class MSP because you're proactive and you're not letting reactive issues happen. And if you don't show that value, or you don't have a mechanism and tools to share that value through QBRs with the customer, then it may end up hurting you, because customer is like, why I'm paying this much on a monthly basis? I may not need this. And funny story, my first job was in New York City as a system admin, and I worked so hard to make everything so streamlined. And the Exchange 5.5 server back then, in 1999, 2000, 2001, it used to go down every day. And then it was a small, medium-sized public relations firm. And the CFO of the company came to me one day after, when I was there for like a year or so. He's like, Sunny, the CEO of the company is coming to me that, do we even need Sunny anymore? And he's like, you did such a great job with the fixing everything and making things work. And now that downtime that used to bother him, and was probably, that's why he was saying, we need to have one complete Exchange admin here. And now he don't see the need. And because, where the issue there was not that now CEO is not, he don't need that role. It's just he probably don't realize the value of being proactive. Now, if MSP owner or MSP service manager is not doing the QBR and not having the right tools and reporting to deliver or to show that value, then that may not work in that MSP's favor. And coming back to IT by design a little bit, that how we are leveraging this is part of our QBR process, that we use all the nice reports. And it's even more critical right now when your assets are everywhere, because laptops to some, like, our other assets that were taken to the home office by our staff, because majority of the staff is working from home now because of the pandemic. And it's so much, so important for every single asset to be managed properly, even internally. And we are doing the same thing for our end customers here, our managed service customers, where those small business customers, employees are also working from home. So it's even more important. And especially the timing. When you talk about timing, Q4 is normally a strong quarter for all MSPs. It is for us, because something happens in the Q4 for many different reasons, from tax purposes to other things, where a lot of small businesses, they spend more money on upgrading their networks. So if you have ScalePad type of solution, you are able to identify opportunities faster. You are able to go back to the customer, at least give them what they need to make a decision if they want to buy that in this year, then Q4. And I know majority of the partners that I talk about, they have three scenarios in terms of their revenue plan: their best case scenario, their kind of middle case, and their the poor or the low case, or so 3 case scenarios. And majority of partners, unless they are in one of those vertical where it's heavily impacted, they are doing well. And in order for them to do even better wherever they are, they need to be very intentional about being proactive in Q4. If they are proactive, opportunities are there with more remote workplace solutions, cloud solutions, to a lot of economy is doing well right now, and majority of the businesses are thinking that what they need to do in Q4 to be ready for 2021. So it's the right timing for every single business owner out there to be very intentional about Q4 and the numbers.
And Sunny, I think, again, I can't articulate that any better than you just did, but I'd like to highlight one of the areas that you touched on a number of times. When partners get in trouble with their QBRs and what have you done for me lately is their customers' kind of reaction to them. Often we've seen that they haven't been talking future. They've been talking past. This is what we did for you last quarter. This is how many tickets we closed for you. This is how many backups we did. It's all previous service delivery. In order to maintain your value, and again, I know the majority on this call and this podcast will understand this readily, but you need to be looking forward. What if a pandemic hits? What if we need to go to remote work? What if you want to plan for the future of expansion or contraction? That is the true value of having an IT service professional and an MSP at your side to guide you through whatever's going to come in the economy, in the business, in the expansion in the world. So I think there's no greater time for an MSP to showcase their value than what you just did with your customers historically over the last little while, but again, helping them look forward. What are we going to plan for 2021, 2022? Economy goes up, economy goes down. Your value is there to help that entity plan forward looking rather than just, oh yeah, we closed a bunch of tickets last quarter for you.
Just to add from the cybersecurity perspective, what I have asked my CTO is that now that assets are distributed from our end customer, and even internally at ITBD, what if there are assets out there and if you don't have a tool that is being used to identify machines that are out of warranty, what happens then? Then you don't get firmware updates to a lot of things that will make that machine as an entry point for hackers, right? And if you have all the bases covered with the right tools, ScalePad tool, then you will be able to proactively monitor and manage from the security point of view as well.
Dan, thanks so much for joining us. If one of our viewers wants to learn more about ScalePad and see how they can use that tool to grow their MSP practice, what's the best way to get that process started?
Thanks, Todd. ScalePad.com, you can find a lot of great information there. You can sign up for a free trial. What I love about what we're able to do with our free trial program is you're able to come in, hook up your API, and in a matter of minutes, you will see all that ScalePad has to offer. Number of hardware assets, software assets, the revenue opportunity that you have within your customer base right now. So there's a lot of great information there, Todd, and my email is dan.wensley@scalepad.com if you want to reach out personally, but go check out our website and start your free trial. And again, thank you to both you and Sunny for hosting me today, Todd.
Dan, thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate you sharing very, very valuable insights, best practices with our partners. We truly appreciate your partnership, and thank you so much for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Dan. And to you, the viewer, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode. We certainly do appreciate it. If you took away a nugget or two, please honor us by clicking like and share right below. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If there's a topic you'd like to see us cover, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time.